Welcome back, folks, to the Via Pinstriping page. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching. So today, I thought I'd just work on a design. I have a tendency of taking a really long time these days just to do a design. And it's been a while since I made a video. So I thought I'd just see about working on just knocking out a design here, making a video at the same time, and kind of killing two birds with one stone. And I thought maybe I'll try something like a scroll design. We'll see. So I hope everybody's been doing well. My apologies for the sort of a hiatus on these videos. I have a schedule that I've yet to kind of make peace with at work. It's kind of put me in a funny position when it comes to getting these videos done. So it's not always easy to get something done video-wise. And on this one, I kind of thought maybe something like monochromatic, so I'm going to try to stick to like blues. But you know me, sometimes it's hard for me to stick to colors and not blast it with a bunch of colors. Another thing I'm not going to do is I'm going to try not to erase anything, so we'll see what happens there. So when you're trying not to erase stuff, you tend to go for safer moves, I guess would be the word. But we'll see. See, that's just a little bit further out. It's not horrendously far. This is the first time picking up the brush in quite a few days. So you can also sort of consider this my warm-up piece. Let's see here. We do have a brand new Pinstripers podcast episode out right now with Alan Johnson. That just got put online today. So if you could check that out, let me know what you think. So far, we've gotten pretty good reviews. I think probably the only complaint that we've heard so far is people saying that it's a little bit too long. Maybe the episodes are a little too long. But they also did tell me that they don't really listen to podcasts. So as a person that does listen to podcasts, you know, I've listened to 3+ hours without any issue, as long as the content is nice. But again, I'm I guess a little biased. I do enjoy podcasts. So let's see if I could try to do what I just did on this side. So I went out, whole square. Oh, I went down a whole square. Up and around, over. Let's try it. The other option would be you could try to draw it with a pencil. And that that would be an option. Let's just test out our ability or lack of ability today. Go around, go as such, barely touching here. Go back through, cut almost sideways, down, a little bit out, something like that. Pretty close. Pretty close. We can clean these up a little bit. Now when doing these types of things that kind of cross in the middle, you really got to pay attention to the shape that you just made, where it crosses and how far out it goes. And really the overall shape. It's kind of like a sharp turn here and then it opens up. So we're going to try to make that happen again. Kind of a sharp turn. And then it's kind of going to flatten out a little bit here. Right? Not the greatest, but we are not erasing today. We're just going to run through it. Yeah, it's been a little bit difficult to get some practice in. My side work's been moving up quite a bit, so that's been keeping me busy. The podcast again, keeping me busy. We've been able to so far interview, let's see, Craig Judd out of California. We were able to interview Howie Nisgor out of New York. We were able to interview Steve Chiseka. Jack Fleming and I, the co-host, we've interviewed each other, which we just did again, kind of as a closer to the season, which should be coming out in a couple of weeks. We have a lot of people on the list that we're hoping to get. We did Cassie Evansich. And we're hoping to keep on going. The Alan Johnson interview was really good because he spoke about his book. Steve gave us some really good insight about his classes that he's been doing. Cassie had some good information that she gave us. She actually gets to meet with people. They have a meetup about once a month. So it was really nice to hear from her. All right, so we got something going on, right? Let's start adding some things. Start adding some white. Start adding some white here. Mix it in with the blue. Maybe we'll try to throw some slight color fades in here. The thing with, if you're going to try to do the monochromatic stuff, is to actually give yourself a separation in color. So we're dealing with a fairly bright blue, so you want to go a decent step up if you're planning on doing. See, I don't know if the camera will pick that up. And I would normally, well, I'll try it. It's hard to do it with the camera there, but I'll try to do it this way. We'll see. Well, it's not too bad. Just some teardrop shapes that kind of follow along the loops. Hopefully they are separate values enough that you can see the difference in the camera. Not so well, but we'll try to hit it with a harder color value on the next one. The way the camera is kind of dictates where I place my head. As my buddy Remy, shout out to Remy. Remy found out he was trying to make a video. He's like, man, it's hard to get your head out of the shot. Yeah. Welcome to my world, buddy. It is definitely difficult to keep your head out of the shot. Especially if you're growing your damn hair out like I am. Alright. Now let's do a way better job at separating that color. And let's go with a lighter blue. And right now I'm just paleting my brush. I wish I had like two cameras so y'all could see that happen as well. Because currently you're just staring at my hand and this panel. Alright, so we got a better color separation. Let's throw a little bit more at this center. What we're going to do is kind of outline a little bit. This may almost look white to you in the video. Let's see here. Let's do a little crisscross. We'll just cross in the center. And we'll cross in the center. All right. And maybe we'll do something that just guides right down the middle. And try not to stick my hand in the paint. One of the rules when it comes to symmetrical pinstriping, as far as the design is concerned, is that you want people's vision to start in the middle and guide their eyes outward, like that. So putting a color, a bright color in the center, kind of catches their vision in the middle. And all these little flares and doodads kind of guide their eye outward. Right? So we're going to do something that goes like this. And I'm not really putting a whole lot of thought behind this design. Just kind of letting the cards fall as they may. Right? A little something in there. And then maybe we'll do something here in the middle. Now because my two loops did not quite land perfectly, I'm kind of going to fake it. I'm gonna move this over just a hair. And I'm going to try to fake it in a way that it's a little bit more even looking. Got to keep in mind this stuff is all hand painted. You do your absolute best to make it perfect, but it will never be completely perfect. Sometimes you got to fake it. Sometimes you stick your finger in the paint. I'm not erasing that, but I'm going to erase this crap. I don't want it there. And this is just a stock cardstock, and it does not hold up very well to erasing things. You can order these sheets of paper on Amazon. I think a pack of 25 or something for like 10 bucks. They're nice to practice on. Alright, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start adding a little green to this. I'm gonna add it to this darker color first. Let's see what we get. This is Alpha's Monster Green. So far I've used some Alpha Blue, some Alpha White, and some One Shot. I think it's Royal Blue? I don't remember what color that. It's like a dark blue from One Shot. I always forget what color it is. Now, I'm mixing it in with the blue. That way it's not so harsh. And we're still kind of getting some of that other tone, that blue tone, still in the mix. So it's sort of a blue-green at the moment. And I'm trying to mix it up fast to save time. We're at 17 minutes right now, so it's not too bad. Now, let's see here. Let's do something that cuts right through this. Because it's a completely different color, I think we might be able to get away with it. So, let's do something like a feathery design. Right? And we'll, what you do is you kind of start lightly. You want to see where you cut through first. I ended up here. So I kind of cut through this way. So start lightly, push down, go across, and lift up. This one's a little thicker, so I'm going to try to make this one a little thicker to match. Right? And now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start adding white to this, and I'm going to kind of fade it downward. So, again, we're looking at color separation, hopefully color separation. And some of that white is fairly thick, so I'm kind of having to work it quite a bit. We'll do like Steve Chiseka does and kind of just dirty mix it. So it'll be kind of not completely mixed. Alright. So there's one. You're going to want to do the other side. And sometimes what I like to do with these is do two and then bump the color mix a little bit more. There's one. Well, I think we'll just keep adding white. We'll see what happens. We'll keep adding white to this. Maybe gradually it will become lighter. Man, I keep sticking my finger in the paint. There's another one. Yep. Look at that. Do some pinstriping, they said. It'll be fun, they said. We'll clean that up in a second. So we're on the inside of this loop, so we'll just stay on the inside of this loop. Yes, folks. 7 years later, I'm still sticking my finger in the paint. Still making mistakes, still struggling. Especially when you're not practiced, you're going to have issues. Now, I'm not fixing mistakes, but I'm fixing these smudges because we don't want these smudges. All right. Now, most of my designs are screaming loud colors, so for me it's easier to see the separation if I just say, okay, now we're just going to go with a red or a whatever. So to run with these muted colors, it's a little bit of a change for me. All right, so now at this point, I'm not doing the feather designs. I'm going to start doing like teardrop shapes. All right. And they are wet on wet, so they're kind of, it's a little dangerous. It's kind of, you might pick up some of that other pigment if you don't move fast enough. And it's chunky. And sort of a pain in the butt. All right? You don't want, if I was to over reduce this paint, it would definitely start picking up some of that blue. All right, so I'm gonna add some more white. At this point, I'm going to drop some white down, and I'm going to use what's on the brush, and it's going to be more white than green. But it is I guess it's older, or maybe some air's gotten to it, but it's pretty thick. I'm having to kind of really reduce it. All right, so we'll go like that. We'll go. I feel like my angles aren't quite right the way I want them, but that's all right. We'll just keep going. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna stop with the fade color. I'm just gonna continue these little teardrop shapes, and I'm kind of gonna try to circle them inward as such. And I'll try to get the other ones to do the same thing. You're gonna have to forgive me because I am gonna have to stick my head in the shot for this. What are we at? 23 minutes? It's not bad. Right, so trying to get the right angle. Oof, it's hard this way. Something like that. Yeah, it's close enough. If the camera went in the way, it'd be a little better. Okay, so I like it. Again, you have the center bit. You have something in the background. You have something coming out of the foreground, I guess is the word. So it's getting more complicated, but again, we have that vision in the middle. We have paint on our fingers. And we have the vision going outward, right? It's the idea with this stuff. It's one of the rules to symmetrical style designs. So I've heard. Rules are sometimes loosey-goosey, right? So I almost feel like I can do something that counterbalances this down here. So I'm thinking if I want to go back to this more green color, first I'm going to clean off my brush and my hands. So we're 25 minutes strong. Thank you for following. If you're still with me, I'm still going. Trying to make sure the camera does not shut off on me. And unfortunately, this is not a fast process. I wish I was quicker, folks. So I'm going to go back to a darker green, the similar color that I had earlier. I'm just going to try to blend it back in, blend what I have on my brush back in. I'm not fully cleaning off my brush. Again, I'm paletting dirty. As you see, if you ever watch Steve Chiseka do his designs, he doesn't really go with hard colors. He kind of blends. Does a lot of blending. So I'm seeing it up here, but it could go underneath as well. I think maybe that'd be too low. So let's just throw something in here as such, right? These are admittedly separate elements. They're just teardrop shapes that kind of go out. You know, when it comes to traditional pinstriping, it really kind of has not a lot to do with it, with the exception of them being teardrop shapes. You know, the center does. The center's fairly traditional, but here we're looking at something kind of completely different. So, I almost want to do another fade with that, but let's just do a few with the same color. All right. Another one. And one right here. All right. Maybe one more. And these are not going to be so dainty. So these are fat, chunky, right? So I'm going to push real hard down to get kind of the maximum effect. It's a pretty fat teardrop. Right? Pushing down real hard and lifting up real fast. Right, so now we have kind of this nice curve out here. Now I am going to wipe the brush off, and we're going to try some teal, like a nice teal color, and see what that brings or doesn't bring to the design. So far I like it, with the exception of the ugly smudges. I think it's decent. I'm going to actually clean off my brush completely. Right, brush is clean. I'm going to grab some of this, I don't even know if it has a name. It's like a teal. And we'll see if you can even see the difference. I think I have a... You know what? Let's go with Kansas City. Sorry about the noise, but you always want to mix up your paint. So Kansas City teal, to me, is it's a staple. I will never be without Kansas City teal. I love the color. There's some colors that I absolutely love, and that is a one-shot color called Kansas City teal. Now, let's see if we can guide some of these teardrop shapes. Right? Add a little something there. We'll throw one here to cover up this ugly smudge. Right, and I'll clean it up down here since I'm going backwards. And yeah, actually this one's lower than that one, so I'm going to bring this one up just a hair. Now currently, this is slightly over-reduced, so I'm losing a little bit of traction. If your paint is too wet, you will kind of lose a little bit of control. And this one, I'm going to do backwards, whatever. Just push down like that. The problem is you get a little blunt, kind of a blunt end versus a very thin end. So we'll just fake it. All right. Not a lot going on down here. Let's fix that. Let's try to do, kind of don't know how I want to do that. Maybe even a tier, maybe something that goes underneath, right? Maybe I can do a design. Let's try to add to the design. All right. So a nice arch. Stuck my finger in the paint, of course. Oh man. Let's go inward. Like kind of a turtle shell shape. Let's go out. In and outs. Zigging and zagging, criss and cross. Right? And then let's do a big X here. Something that goes way out to give me some interesting elements down here at the bottom. Way out. Ending right here. And maybe I'll do something like, let's see, something like this. Right? And outward. Yeah, not my favorite shape, but we'll run with it. Not my favorite shape. I was trying something there. So we got stuff going on. There's stuff going on there. Try to make that sort of a thicker element, right? So it was just a loop, now kind of is almost like legs, right? And we can make it interesting by connecting it not just up here, but connecting it into that void there. Which gives it, you see that little bit of separation kind of gives it an interesting feeling, I think. And we'll try to do the same thing over here. Bam. All right. Now, I feel like we got a whole design there. Let me see if I can lower the, there. I don't know if that helps you see the colors a little better. So we're at 30 minutes. Right? Fairly monochromatic. Trying to think if maybe a little bit of teal in the center would be nice. Maybe you could add some little kind of whatchamacallits, right? A little something in there. Maybe a small teardrop shape in the middle. A little bit chunky, but it's in there. All right. And then maybe we can go, I almost want to go back to a blue. I feel like I need some more something down here. Let's add some white to this teal, see what we get. Just gonna I'm throwing down some white. I'm gonna wipe off a decent amount of this paint, and I'm just gonna palette that into the white. It's gonna be mostly white. All right, now we have this shape, so this is what we're gonna do. These are gonna be a little chunky, but I'm gonna go something like that. And outward. Now there's another rule that says you shouldn't have any lines that don't close. People say you shouldn't have open-ended lines like that. But I feel like the exception is if they go thick to thin, it almost is like it's almost like a teardrop shape, right? Those are acceptable. Nobody expects you to close a teardrop shape. So that's where I feel like that is the exception. Now, if you have a line that is the same exact width from end to end, yeah, that just looks like a stick. I get it. I dig that. I dig what I just did there. Kind of gives it a little bit of, makes it a little bit harder, in a sense, a hard line, right? So let's try it here again. Let's try one that goes from here straight down. Okay. That's roughly here. Going to this corner. Let's see if I could do it. So I'm trying to see where it crosses. So it crosses right above the connection there of that corner. So we're looking at, oh, it starts there. Nope, it starts here. Let's try it out. All right, something like that. Right? And then we'll do the one that goes up. Just to cut this thing a little bit of something else to it. It's a little, I don't know, a little pizzazz, I guess, if you will. Sometimes these things, to me, they're too round, they're too something. My eye wants something else. And I liked it a lot there. Here, I think what I'm going to do, because this one went a little further, I'm going to fix that. And I am actually, I already stuck my finger in this one. Surprise. I am actually going to connect it a little bit. Right? So you see it connects right past that loop, so that's the plan here. Right past the loop. All right, 39 minutes. 40 minutes of pinstriping. Look at how fast that goes. All on one design. And I'm gonna, it's gonna be a little blunt, but I'm gonna make a little something that goes here. right? Do the same thing on this side. It kind of goes downward a little, right? And we're just going to connect that to there. Right. So there goes that. Now I feel like it's missing that up here, right? A little bit. Am I wrong? It's like nice, flowy stuff going on, sharp edges, and then just a round top. So let's do something up there. Let's give it a little edge up there. What, you may ask? I have no idea. Maybe, let's see here. You know what? Maybe it just needs some of that color. Bam. Kind of caps off the bottom part, doesn't it? Kind of gives it a little more life to it. See, I'm verbalizing this stuff, but it's just stuff that kind of runs in my mind. I just, you know, being that I'm making a video, I figure I'd talk about it. Generally, I'm not in my mind thinking, oh yeah, nah. I'm just kind of feeling what I think might look good. And maybe we'll do some dots kind of that go upwards. You can do dots with the back of the handle too, but I have a little bit less control over those dots. Personally, I'm not very good with them. I think we're done. Yeah. Let's aim this thing down just a little bit. I'll put my signature on here. And again, just a little bit of trivia. I do the underline because sometimes my signature is not dead center, so I can either start the underline on one side or start it a little bit further out, and I can kind of fake it being centered with that arch. Should I erase it? I'm not gonna. We'll keep it. If anybody wants this thing, holler at me. We'll get it to you for a decent price. It's on paper, by the way. And I'm not gonna erase the grid lines. I have no idea what's gonna happen to the grids. So you're getting it with grid lines if you want it. All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you all for the support. I promise I want to try to do more videos. Sorry for the delay. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope you're healthy. I hope your family's healthy. I hope you're happy. I hope we're going to start making loads of money together, all of us, and things are going to be great these upcoming years because it is rough right now, boy. All right, y'all. Have a good time. Bye-bye.